You've heard the rumours, now here are the numbers. 500 horsepower, 339 pounds-foot of torque, 0 to 62 miles an hour in 3.8 seconds, and a top speed of over 200 miles an hour. This is the new 911R. But this is a car that's about so much more than the numbers. So here is Porsche's inimitable head of GT cars, Andreas Preuninger, to talk us through it.
So, Andreas, thank you so much for taking the time to talk us through the 911R, which we're all very excited about. And I think because it's a car that's, the numbers are important but not so important, so could you just talk us through the ethos of this car? Because it's something you've wanted to do for a long time, I think.
Yeah, there are so many projects we wanted to do for a long time. This is definitely qualifies as one of the top projects that we were longing to do. Kind of a new breed of GT cars that we're coming up with. It's a true, authentic driver's car. Definitely, it's not a race car. It's not for track use. It's not like this track tool that we normally offer. It has the same technology in it, but it's more like a purist car, a pure driver's car, a car to use on the road, to have fun on the road. It always was very easy to address two kind of customer groups with our GT cars in the past, like the 996s and 997, the purists and the, let's call them, track rats. It's important to win races, it's important to have the best track-capable, street-legal car, and we still have. But that opened a certain niche now for the purists, because they need another car, and that's the car we built for the purists with the GT technology.
And I suppose the ultimate embodiment of that, the central thing to that is really, it's the manual gearbox that's in this car.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a main issue of the car, a main characteristic of the car, that it's only available in a 6-speed gearbox. This was a call from the customer group that liked the 996, 997 GT cars. They wanted to keep their involvement by changing the cogs themselves, which I can fully understand, which makes sense on the street if you want to have fun in a car, which doesn't make so much sense when you're looking for the best and most capable track car. So we had to follow a different route there, and we developed this gearbox especially for that car. It's not something off the shelf. It's a specific GT gearbox coupled to the 4.0 liter 500 horsepower RS engine, which was not expected, as I could read in the forums. So we're happy to be able to present the most powerful atmospherical engine we have in the range at the moment. And yeah, and it contributes a lot to the driving experience out on the road with that car. In addition to the very nimble feeling of the car, this lightweight characteristics of the car, everything is carbon fiber and magnesium, and the car weighs in at 1,250 kilos dry on a 500 horsepower engine, or 1,370 kilos with a topped-off tank with all fluids. And this is quite something you have to look for in the market at the moment. And you feel it as soon as you leave the parking spot. The car is so light, it's so responsive, and then this makes you grin all the time. So it's really a great entertainer.
So that's lighter than the GT3 RS.
It is, yeah, which is not exactly fat, I would say.
No. So where did you save the weight?
Yeah, it's obvious. We were talking about the manual gearbox. A manual gearbox has the advantage of being lighter than a dual clutch gearbox, so that gives this car a 20 kilo advantage, even more, because this one's got a single mast flywheel, which is even lighter than, so it's a 22 kilo advantage over the PDK. If you compare it with the GT3, for example, this fender might look exactly the same as on a GT3 or on any other Carrera, but it's carbon fiber, and it's not the RS version with the vents. It's a different one, so it's new. So we've got carbon fiber here, we've got magnesium here, we've got the perspex or the plastic windows in the back, and we even found another 4.5 kilos of sound insulation that we took away from the RS. So this is even less sound insulated, which is a good thing for the visceral driving feeling. Not so much for going like 2,000 kilometers in one go, but that's not the point of the car. It has standardly equipped with the PCCB brake, which is a lot lighter than the standard brake of the RS, which is not ceramic, which is steel rotors. And so we went through all these little details of the car. You can have it without AC, you can have it without radio. And it has a titanium exhaust in comparison to the GT3, which has a steel version of the exhaust. And it's all that little things that made this car about 70 kilo lighter than a GT3.
So the other obvious thing with the car is, well, I suppose the lack of wings, particularly at the rear.
Ain't it nice? Huh?
It's
For
lovely.
difference?
I love the look of it. Yeah, it's very, very pure looking and still striking. So.
It's very modest looking, but still self-conscious. And this is a good mixture for today, I think. I didn't want any spoilers on the car, not even a gurney flap on the back end. So that called for additional measures to keep the car in balance at high speeds, because we want to make a safe lane change at 320. You can't do it in England, sorry, but we can in Germany. So we fitted a very, very neat diffuser underneath the car. So we took the downforce we needed from the underbody. So there's long veins, long fins underneath the engine, which contributed a lot to the downforce of the car. And so we have a neutral car. It's always neutral at the front end. And we have a slight amount of downforce at the back, so the balance of the car is exactly as a GT car should feel like, and we're very happy about that. But it took quite some time on testing on the wind tunnel and on the autobahns.
We've got a Cup 2 tyre.
Yes,
some people had sort of speculated we might have narrower tyres on.
Yeah, I read that. Isn't that curious? Why should we make a car less competent grip-wise? So
I suppose we've got the engine from the GT3 RS, and you've got the wheels and tyres. So you've got a 305 on the back from the GT3. So
the contact patch, if you compare it to the GT3 RS, is way smaller, because we've got the same amount of power on the wheels, but on smaller wheels, which are the sizes of the GT3. It's ultra-high performance tires we are using on the GT3 as well, so we think they're just brilliant for the car. And they play a very good role in combination with this GT3 suspension, because all the parts we can see here on the suspension, the chassis is GT3 derived. And it'll slide pretty easy, so it's a good drift car. I don't want to encourage it on the open road because it's a road car, but it's a very entertaining drive, and there was no need to make it narrower. And I don't think it would have looked right if there would be less on the wheel wells. So it's exactly as the way it should be, I think.
So we've got the same spring as the GT3, different, slightly retuned dampers.
The damper calibration is different, so shock and rebound values are different. It's more for the street use, but we have PSM nevertheless. And if you put the PSM on the sport mode, it'll stiffen up. So for the occasional drift challenge or whatever besides open roads, so we have a solution for that too.
One other thing that I think people perhaps wondered if you get rid of was rear wheel steering.
Yeah.
But you've kept it on the car.
Yes, we did. So, which is kind of a contradiction, is it? But I'm happy to answer this. Yeah, as a matter of fact, and the first ideas of the car, and I almost fought for that, was get rid of the rear axle steering, because it's 5-point-something kilos, and we want to have it pure. And we said, okay, but we know that this rear axle steering does a lot for the car's agility. And agility is a bonus for the driver because it's fun. So we didn't want to take fun out of the car by eliminating the rear axle steering. So logical thing is try both. And I can tell you the car felt like a truck without it. So, and we wanted to make this car even more agile than a GT3, and it is. It's in one league with the GT4, and that's a mid-engine car. How come? So it's the same hardware we use on the rear axle steering, but a completely different calibration. It doesn't like turn more. It's 1.5 degrees in every direction, but the way to this one, the progressive curve is different. So the car even handles a lot more agile in slalom drills and on curvy roads. We found, and we learn. I mean, the system was new. Now we're using the system for quite some time, and we get more and more ideas to get even more performance out of it, and that's incorporated in this calibration of that car. And it's really, the car feels very small from behind the wheel.
So the interior of the car is, well, the first thing to say is it's beautifully pure, like the ethos of the car, I suppose.
Yeah, it should continue the way it's from the outside when you get in. And this is, for me, this is a car you don't get in. You're like you're dressing up with it. You're wearing the car. It's like your favorite pair of jeans. As soon as you're sitting in the car, everything falls into place. The package, everything, the feeling you get. It's just focused on driving. For me, it's almost a spiritual experience to drive the car, to be honest. And all the things you can touch are crisp and mechanical. Just look at the gear shifter. It's like rifle bolt action. That's the way it's supposed to be, because a car still is a sum of a lot of mechanical components, and it should feel like one. not like a driving iPhone. I love iPhones, but I like to be get mechanical, crisp feedback of a car. And for me important, or for us important at Porsche, and especially when we did this car, we thought of what is important on a sports car. It's not so much for me the pure horsepower, because there's a limit of what additional horsepower can contribute to additional driving pleasure. That's not the case. I think 500 is more than enough. What counts is the feedback of the car, the absolute clear information you get through your hand, through your bum, through your back, and your feet and your ears. And you have to have a nice sound atmosphere as well. And the car has to be reproducible, honest in its reactions. And the instantaneous bite an engine has, and the direct feeling a steering offers, this is what a sports car is about. And this were the main target criteria when we did this car. And yeah, well, it's I'm sure if you guys get this car for Ecoti next year, which I hope, somebody will take off with the car when you're in the Highlands again. So it's so much fun, you don't want to get out.
And one of the options, we mentioned it briefly, it's got a single mass lightweight flywheel, which presumably adds to the sort of the sounds you hear in here when you
have to like it, but I like mechanical noises. I like to get the feedback of what's going on in the background or in the foreground, wherever. It's additional information I can use for my driving style, and which contributes to my satisfaction when I'm driving a car. And we have the single mass flywheel, which shaves off another 5-point-something kilos in comparison to a dual mass flywheel. And it has the important advantage for me, the revving up dynamics is a lot better, especially at low revs. The car got a lot more zing, I would call it. If you like just think of easing down the throttle a little bit, the car just jumps. It is accompanied with a little bit of rattling, which is nice, and which is not overdone in that car. It's a little less than on the RS 4-liter, but still very audible and present. And yeah, we love it. And it comes with a reinforced clutch as well.
In here, we've obviously got no leather up here, and the steering wheel is beautifully simple. It's the 360.
Simplicity and function. It's a 360 steering wheel. It's specifically designed for the R, satin black finish. And this car, the photo car, is equipped as I would equip my car. It doesn't need leather, it doesn't need stitching here. Some people like it, that's fine, but I think it adds to the puristic note. That's the way I think an R should look, to be able to live up to the R moniker, because the R in its time was like get everything that you don't need out of the car. They even reduced it to one sun visor only, which would shave off another 100 grams, but it doesn't make sense nowadays, so there's no benefit in that. But this one doesn't have a radio, it doesn't have AC, it's just stripped down to the max. It's the purest 911 we ever built, and that's the way it rides.
Yeah, and I noticed it's got the green dials in there, which obviously harks back.
This is a little bit of homage on the old R as well. So yeah, we wanted to differentiate a little bit from the GT models. That's why I don't see any Alcantara around here. So we have a beautiful option with this dark brown natural leather, which is even available for this non-leather version here. So there's some patches in dark brown and some patches in black, in addition to this old style, old school cloth that we have on the seats, and it's quite a nice mixture, which reeks of lust for motoring, for me at least. Very classic, and we like the classic style of the car.
And just looking at the buttons we've got down here, we've got the sports exhaust. We've got a sports button, which is...
Yeah, it's only the rev match. There's a rev match, like we introduced it on the GT4, and it was very successful there. You can heel and toe, just don't push the button. But if you wanted to have it done automatically, it'll do it perfectly.
And the steering's been recalibrated specifically for the R?
Yeah. It needed recalibration because we wanted to get the utmost of information you could get from the front axle, and then you always have to feel exactly what's going on in the steering rod, the forces of the steering rod, and so. And we're learning on this system as well. So GT4 system was brilliant, GT3 system was brilliant, but this is the best so far. But it goes together with the recalibration of the rear axle steering. So they're in constant contact. So they have to match each other. And yeah, so it's R specific, and it's with a clear focus on agility. It's fun, it's raw. and you never get tired of it. And
it feels like a 911.
And it feels more 911. It's the pure essence of the idea 911. It's the most, I think it's the most emotional 911 we did for decades.
And is this going to be the last time we'll see one of these sorts of cars, do you think?
If the market will open wider for solely emotional cars, not so much into racetrack use and just for the pure motoring pleasure, and we will listen, because we always like to listen to our customers. I mean, that's why there's a gearbox in the car that's manual. So.
Excellent. Andreas, thank you very much indeed.
You're welcome.
The 911R will be available in white or silver, and if you want, you can have stripes in red or green, aping the BP liveries of the original 1967 911R. Perhaps the only thing that we don't like is that Porsche is only building 991 of them. To watch our video of the new McLaren 570 GT, click on the left, or to hear the glorious noise of the 911R's 4-litre engine, click on the right. And to make sure you don't miss out on any of our Geneva Motor Show content, you should really think about clicking on the button to subscribe.